Welcome back to the video. So today's topic for today's video will be my top 10 cover songs in D4DJ. Now this is a video request coming in from Twitch by It's Relu, so go check out their channel. And this is basically going to be showing all the stuff from the game. I'm going to be playing all the beat maps for this on Expert. So let's get overall started with our honorable mentions. Now, some of the honorable mentions here added will be Real Emotion from the Final Fantasy series, Days coming in from Eureka 7's first opening, Android Girl, which is a cover by Hatsune Miku and produced by Deco27, the Sekai wa Hitsotsu Janai, which is the first opening of the Milky Home series, and Gotoban no Kimochi, which is from the Quintuple's first opening, and this is the first combination song within D4DJ. So the first song within our top 10 that we'll be looking at is Journey Through the Decade by Rondo. And let me go get loaded up for a bit, and we shall start as I go talk about why I put this as my number 10. Now, to start off, I'd say that Rondo definitely has very good covers within D4DJ Groovy Mix, and this is one of them. This is specifically from Kamen Rider Decade, and a part of the huge Kamen Rider series, and this is also where 3 specific Kamen Rider songs were implemented in D4DJ. One of them, which is Kamen Rider Black by Piki Piki, the other one is Climax Jump by Mermaid, and this one specifically is Journey Through the Decade. With this also being said, is that I really like Rihonyan's voice within the cover. She does pretty good within the cover, and I also really like this beat map as well. I'd say that I have only really watched Deno, which is actually the Mermaid cover, but I unfortunately did not put that in my top 10. I think they did pretty good cover overall there, including Piki Piki's Kamen Rider Black as well, but out of all of the 3 Kamen Rider songs, this has got to be my favorite overall. I really especially like how this beat map difficulty is. It's a 14 and has pretty tricky utilizations, I'd say. I think especially the end gets thoroughly tricky. And I'd say that this is also a pretty nice long song as well, if you're into more of the longer type of songs. And I'd say that it's overall pretty nice, especially you can see within this part right here. Right here, this part is where I really love Rihonyan singing. But pretty much, I think that a lot of the Kamen Rider songs are pretty good here, and I'm especially glad they were able to put this in, because I've seen this also in a lot of set lists. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to FC this song specifically. We're gonna see if I could do that, see if I mess up on the part I always mess up on. But overall, this is still a pretty thorough, nice song, I'd say. And definitely Rondo songs and covers have been pretty nice to have like this serious tone within it. I missed, of course I did. But I'd say that this has to be my number 10 because it's a pretty good song. The next song we'll be looking at is now our number 9 with Ready Steady Go by Photon Maiden. Now I'd say that you'll be seeing a lot of Photon Maiden within this, and this is one of the nice songs that started off. This is coming specifically from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I believe that this song specifically was out during the open beta. And I'd say that this is also a thorough nice. This is has a pretty good utilization of its level, and I especially love the tones, especially how it gives turns specifically to Amita and Sumu Sumu. Those are the specific singing notes you can hear. But everyone does pretty good within this, and I especially like all the utilization of the tapping within this. Also, when I heard this live for the first time too, I really loved it. It sounded so good, especially during the sound-only live, which was very nice because I was not expecting to cover this song. And I've heard Ready Steady Go in different games before as covers. An example of this would be Afterglow. And I'd say that this has pretty good utilization of chorus too. I especially really love the chorus because of how passionate everyone sounds. And I especially really love the beats to this. That's a lot of my themes of what's been picking this top 10, is especially the beats, which you can hear through this. And I'd say that this is like one of the Turo easier songs, especially. If you especially love tapping notes, this is one of my favorites. It only has like a few tricky holds, but I don't think it's that tricky compared to like some of the other hold miss I dropped. But I'd say that this is a pretty good for the Maiden song overall. I really like how it can be utilized, and some people have put this early on in their set list as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that has been my number 9. So, for our number 8, we got something a bit different. First off, we're going to be playing the music video of this, and this is a recently released song as well, a few weeks ago. So, I'm going to go talk about this song called Undercover, which is remixed by Teddy Lloyd. So this song is also produced by Deco27, and also covered within by Hatsumiku. And I'd say that you all should definitely go check out this music video too. I especially love how I'm playing with the music video right now, but seeing it without the B map is pretty cool. But the main reason why I'm putting this at number 8 is because of my man, Teddy Lloyd. So, if none of you have known already, I am a huge fan of Teddy Lloyd, and I have actually seen him in Oda Quest in 2019, right before the pandemic. And I'd say that he does pretty good with his remixes. I especially loved his Monster Hunter remix as well, which, if we're gonna go into game covers, that would be like one of my huge top 5s, especially. But I really like this thorough fitting in. Like, sometimes you don't expect Lyrical Lily to do like a song like this, and I'd say definitely this is a nice change of pace for how Lyrical Lily songs usually go. I especially love this part right here, especially. Teddy Lloyd does very good with the musical notes within this. And I also think that the B map is not that tricky. I think that this B map is pretty sustainable overall. And especially, it's a free MV, so what else can you ask for? I especially love Amanesu's voice within this cover. She does so good with emphasizing with her voices, and also everyone else within Lyrical Lily. But notably Amanesu, with her introductions into the chorus, which I think actually is direct chorus, but they wanted to add in a drop within this. I especially really love, I unfortunately dropped a note there, but I really love the emphasization, and especially the singing parts of this song. And I'd say, especially the remixes, as you can see right here, is very nice overall. And yeah, that's my number 8. So we get to our next one, which is our number 7, with Love Revolution 21. Now, this is a song I really like because this was actually one of the first songs that was released when D4DJ started doing their online lives with Happy Rounds. So I'd say that this is also a very fun song, especially. So this is by Morning Musume, which is actually an idol group in Japan. So it is different from a lot of what we're getting. So it's kind of similar to like how the Vocaloid has it, where we're not really adapting from an anime specifically or a game, but we are adapting from a specific song within this. I'd say that this is a nice one. It does have some trickiness with some of the note detection, like that, as you can see. I'm just only doing that to show an example, but I especially love the singing within this. Everyone sings it very nice. And this is also pretty cool. If you hear the original version, it's kind of completely different from this. But Happy Round is a pretty good cover within this. I especially love Mimuharu singing in this, especially out of this. Like, Oyu singing is always good, but Mimuharu singing has been very good within this cover. And especially the sing-along is very good, which I'll talk about in one of the other songs that are coming up soon. Like, especially, this is also a lot of people's favorites within Happy Rounds because of this part. Watch. I'm singing a little bit. it's so catchy overall. Like, some of you might not like my singing, but it's always just catchy. I especially really love the chorus part. I think it flows very well. And I think out of a lot of this, not many Happy Round covers I'm a fan of, personally, if I'm being honest, but this is definitely one of the ones that have really caught my eye. I'd say Moonlight Densetsu too, but I didn't add that in my honorable mentions. But that's a pretty good song as well. And that is my number 7. Now I get to our number 6, which is basically just missing the outside of top 5 with a little bit of some Bushiro bias. We got 99 Illusion by Fallen Maiden. Now, as I said before, Fallen Maiden covers have been so good, and you'll see that in the next few songs as well. But this song specifically is coming in from the Revue Starlight series. I believe in the early lives of D4DJ is that they played 99 Illusion as well. And I especially like this. This is like one of my key songs that I liked from Revue Starlight. I'm curious if they're going to do a lot more other Revue Starlight songs, like they did with Bang Dream, but that's more information for another time, talking about future songs. But, talking about this song specifically, everyone gets a place to shine, and especially, here's the interesting note about Fallen Maiden, is that, I missed that note right there, unfortunately. I normally don't do that, but all 3 of 4 of them are actually in the Revue Starlight series themselves. The only person excluded is Amita. Haruki is, of course, Mahiru. Hichan is Jinna or Jinjin. And specifically from Revue Starlight Revive, Sumu Sumu is Rui from the Rinmei-con. So you got 2 Seisho and 1 Rinmei-con, which is pretty nice. I was kind of expecting them to do something that nice, and especially I really love the singing this part. I think they all sync well too. It's mostly a lot of them are coming in from the Revue Starlight series as well, at least looking at their resume work, and I think this map is pretty good. I only had like some minor mistakes, as you all saw right there, but I especially love this overall. And I mean, I'm a huge Bushiro fan, so this of course has to be in my top 10. And especially if you love Revue Starlight, you also definitely go give this a listen. This is definitely one of my favorites. So that has been my number 6. Going in with our number 5, we've got a pretty cool song here. This is Sakura. Now, this is another Fallen Maiden song, of course, so to round out the top 5. But basically, this was actually, remember this song playing in Sound Only Live, and Sound Only Live was pretty good. And this was like one of the key songs because I was like, wow, this sounds so good just listening to this, and I was curious about how this was going to be put into the game. This was put into the game like right before the official release. It was like at the end of the beta for D4DJ Groovy Mix. And I especially love the singing notes here. It sounds so emotional too. This is coming in specifically from the Eureka 7 series, which their openings have been stellar. I originally talked about Days being in my honorable mention, but another one is that Piki Piki did a cover song that I unfortunately don't remember the name of. And I'd say that this map is just more the easier side of things. A lot of people have PFC'd, but unfortunately I'm a pleb and I can't PFC, so. But I really love the singing from everybody here. And I remember also, while watching the live and tweeting it out, there are a lot of people crying within me as well, or with me as well, see, a better term. And I'd say that this is such a good song just because of the beats, as you all see right here after this drop. Ready? Just listen to this. It just sounds amazing. And this was originally like one of my favorite covers until more of the other covers coming in, but it's still one of my huge favorites. And especially a lot of people just love this song. And especially, you should go check out the Eureka 7 series. I haven't watched it myself, but a lot of people have been hyping it up, especially with how D4DJ has been promoting this. So, this has been Sakura, and especially I'd recommend go listening to the full version of this. But this has been my number 4, or number 5. Now, we get to our actual number 5, which I am actually going to download the MV for this because I have the MV specifically for this. But this is called Ginga Tetsudo 999. But as all you probably know what it's called Galaxy Express 39. And this is actually one of the show-off videos that they did for the D4DJ Groovy mix. Now, this is an all-English song from Photo Maiden, once again, to tribute to, of course, Discovery Express 999. Within this, I especially just love the visuals of this music video. And especially, I really love that what Photo Maiden's approach is trying to do a lot more add English within their songs. And you can definitely see that with this song, as this is a all-English song. Now, some of the people are like, I don't know really about hearing like just all English, but they do pretty good within this. And as you see, I especially love the art style. The art style especially fits with Galaxy Express 999. And there's a lot of people that also have some nostalgia who've seen this before. So, especially if you love the old series, I especially go recommend checking this out because this song is very good. And it's just so colorful. And it just makes you want to sing along. Like, every time this pops up on stream, I just want to sing along, as you see within that. But this basically misses out on the top 3 because the other 3 songs are just hugely better. This was like my favorite cover, I believe. Like, right before the other new covers started coming along. But definitely, this is so good, especially showing off some of the properties of Live 2D within D4DJ Groovy Mix as a preview. And it's just so great overall. I especially just love this part right here. Especially just the holding of the notes. And it's just a song you just won't want to keep singing along to. And especially go get the MV. Playing this MV in Free Live is nice. And that has been my actual number 4. Now we get into the top 3 with Blue Field by Photon Maiden, of course. So this has been through about, I think about 4 straight Photon Maiden songs. And this one, I gotta say, has to be my favorite. I especially really love this song. This was like one of the first covers posted on the D4DJ Japanese channel too, along with Mermaid's Honey, which unfortunately did not make the top 10 cut. But I just especially love listening to this song. I recommend everyone going check out this song in full. Now, this is specifically from the series Arpeggio of Blue Steel. I believe this is the ending of it. And this is by Trident, who is by some of the VAs of Arpeggio. And I especially love the original version too. This cover actually made me listen to the original version, and I even have watched Arpeggio myself, and I just really love it. I think that this is, out of all the Photo Maiden songs, so choreographed well, and it just fits. It fits really Photo Maiden's aesthetics too as well. So this is just so nice to listen to. And especially that it is kind of different from the original song. It does sound like a lot more remixed. And that's what I really like for a lot of these covers, is that these are thoroughly remixed. And especially, you hear this vocals right here is just so good. I think Sumu Sumu did such a good job with this. Now, in terms of beat map, this beat map is pretty simple. I immediately put this in my set list on day 1 of the game coming out because I was like, oh, this is so good. And this was also a part, I believe, of the first event's multi-medley as well, for some fun facts. But this is such a good song. I highly recommend going listening to this, especially if they're gonna pull this out, but that's been my number 3. Now, we get to the top 2, which, if you've all seen my set list, you kind of already know what my top 2 is, but we're gonna get here with Infinite Rebirth. Now, as you all probably obviously know, that I am a fan of Vanguard, and I'd say that I'm excited to see more Vanguard covers hopefully in the future, especially with this. But this is specifically coming in from the Link Joker era, which is opening 2 of the Link Joker arc. This was originally as Megane Rebirth by Daigo, who sang this. So this is like a twist coming in from Rondo, as you can hear with the guitar, which they don't have in the original song. But the main reason why I really love this song is the passion. Like, listen to Rihonion sing this. And also, if you all know about the Link Joker arc without giving any spoilers, it gets like super deep within this part of the arc, which I definitely recommend. Now, theoretically, that there is another opening on Link Joker arc called Break Your Spell, but that has not been covered here, unfortunately, in D4DJ Groovy Mix. However, this is nice as I drop my combo there, but I definitely say that as like one of the only Vanguard covers in this game so far, I just really enjoy this. And especially the beat map is pretty good too. There's a lot of twists and turns within this, as you can see with some of the flick notes not being a full extension flick. It's being like close to like a few lanes. And I especially go check out Rei Myojin's cover over it, which I'll put in the description as well. But it's just so freaking good, I'd say. And it's obviously on my set list ever since it came out. But that's my number 2. Now, we're into our number 1 spots, and wouldn't you know it, it's Gimme Revolution by Lyrical Lily. So Lyrical Lily takes the top spot here, and I have to say, this is my favorite cover so far. I especially just love it, just from every part of the song, and especially that this is one of the easier 13s, that I'd say that this is pretty good in terms of beat maps. I always play this song a lot, and the main reason why is because I have actually watched the original anime, which is called Gonna Be the Twin Tail. No reference to our fellow Chinny Clan member, but I'd say that I just love that original song because it was also done by Mai Uchida, which is ironically the voice of Rika Takanashi, but that's a discussion for another time. But as we learned from Mai Uchida's songs, they've just been very colorful and splashy. And this is definitely one of the great ones out of this. And I think that this fits Lyrical Lily 2 as well. When I heard this for the first time in D4 Fest, one of Lyrical Lily's first appearances, they played this song, and I was like, wow, this is very good, and I think this fits Lyrical Lily so well, especially. And I think that it gives a lot of people's time to shine, as I talk about Amanesu a lot, but all the other Lyrical Lily seiyus do pretty good, especially Kurimi seiyu too, as well. And I definitely say that you also just listen to the song. Like, if there was a song that's also in my top 5 or even top 3 out of the entire game, it has to be this song. This was released like right at the end of the first events, so I spammed this song like a lot during my tiering attempts where I got top 1k. But overall, I'd 100% say that this is just an amazing song, and I definitely recommend everyone to go listen to this. This has been in my set list ever since it released too. I just think that the song fits so well, and I especially just love the beat map of this, where Ramen also gets a GFC here. So, that has actually been my top 10. Again, thank you to It's Relu for requesting this, and I do appreciate you all go checking this out. I'll probably do a more updated one later down the lines when more covers have released. And if you also want to go take a look at probably some other stuff like video games or such, drop it down in the link below, and I will probably do some of my favorite video game additions within it, or anything else. I can even do original songs as well. Other than that, though, thank you all for joining in with the Clan, and remember to embrace the darkness. We'll see you all later.